Hello, dear friends. This is urgent information. Mexico has become the first country in the world to officially accept the presence of visitors from the stars. Opinion piece. Mexico presents two ET bodies. First country in the world to announce it. The mummies are between 700 and 1800 years old. Official presentation in the Congress of Mexico. They have 3 fingers and an elongated head. Some had eggs inside them before they died. They were found in the Peruvian cities of Palpa and Nazca. Its DNA does not correspond to any species on Earth. Let's start. Two allegedly extraterrestrial bodies of 1,000 years old were officially exhibited in showcases last Tuesday, September 12th, in a special session of the Mexican Congress, starring the well-known ufologist Jaime Maussan, who declared before the deputies that there is sufficient evidence to recognize the presence of extraterrestrial life on our planet. Maussan was accompanied in the session by former American pilot Ryan Graves and Avi Loeb, professor of astrophysics at Harvard University. Graves also presented evidence at a July hearing in the US Congress. This Tuesday, Jaime Maussan asked the Mexican Congress to recognize the existence of extraterrestrial life in our planet. This intervention occurred during the public assembly for the regulation of unidentified anomalous aerial phenomena, where he presented two beings whose DNA does not correspond to any species on Earth. In quotes, they are dissected bodies found in the Peruvian cities of Palpa and Nazca in 2017, which have been thoroughly investigated. Maussan assured legislators, adding that a group of scientists determined that the remains correspond to non-human beings that are not part of the terrestrial evolution. In quotes. Maussan also stated that according to a carbon-14 analysis carried out by the National Autonomous University of Mexico, it was determined that the beings are around 1,000 years old and were kept buried within a type of diatom algae that allowed their conservation, specifying that these are not bodies recovered from ships that fell on Earth, but rather intact bodies that have not been manipulated. According to the information revealed by the ufologist, the beings would be between 700 and 1,800 years old. They have 3 fingers, an elongated head, and in addition, they all preserve the organs in their body. In this sense, he added that some even had eggs inside them before they died. Maussan declared under oath, in quotes, these specimens are not part of the evolution of our world. They do not come from the UFO sky scrapyard. They were found fossilized in a diatom moss mine, he stated. Maussan explained that the samples were analyzed by UNAM and that the scientists who obtained DNA samples applied radiocarbon tests to determine their age. In quotes, we are not alone in this vast universe. We have to accept this reality, said Maussan, who defended that the public has the right to learn about the existence of non-human beings and their technology. After this, the Mexican ufologist considers that there is enough evidence to demonstrate the existence of extraterrestrial life, which is why he pointed out that the UFO phenomenon in the country must be recognized and it must be considered an issue of humankind. Meanwhile, specialists in the area formalized their request to include this issue in the Mexican airspace protection law in order to recognize that the nation's airspace is being violated by objects of unknown origin, and thus convert the country in the first state in the world to accept the presence of non-humans on the planet. Strange. Elena denounces murder attempt because of the information she shared. Scientists redesign the brain to alter human addiction. Scientists control human DNA with electricity, study reports. Electrified cement could turn new buildings into giant batteries. Engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have created an energy storage supercapacitor using only cement, carbon black, and water. This new this new invention could stabilize energy networks, allowing to use renewable energy sources such as solar and wind. News: crude oil hits its highest level of the year, and Wall Street already sees it as 100, at $100. China is busy propping up the yuan against 33 other currencies, according to a report. More than 60 Australian parliamentarians asked the US to stop persecuting Julian Assange. Bruce's big call states, "Mm, I don't say it was going to happen tomorrow, but it seems that way based on the information I have received in the last few days. Charlie Watts thinks it would happen on a Thursday. Others think it would be on a Friday, when the markets close. And another group believes it would happen on a Saturday night, when all the banks in the world are closed for a short period of time." Europe. Germany's GDP will decrease by 0.4% in 2023. Brussels fights against cheap Chinese electric cars flooding Europe. Von der Leyen announces an investigation into Chinese subsidies for electric vehicles. France orders Apple to recall all iPhone 12s due to excess radiation. France would deploy its forces from Niger only at the request of the ousted president. Paris does not recognize the power of the military junta that runs the African country. A metal detective makes the gold find of the century in Norway. Ancient gold jewelry found by a man who bought a metal detector to get off the coach. They turned out to be 9 pendants, 3 rings, and 10 gold pearls from 1,500 years ago. Spain. Scientists from China and Spain create a human organ in pigs for the first time. The major Spanish banks maintain their teleworking policy at the beginning of the course. Courses for €700 in Spain to fight in Ukraine. A private security company from Lerida seeks to recruit 200 mercenaries to fight in the National Legion of the Ukrainian Army. Various skills are tested, such as shooting and handling drones. The course lasts 5 days and has already received dozens of applications offering contracts that can reach €3,400 per month. Americas. Huge lithium deposit discovered in a volcanic crater in the Nevada-Oregon border could hold up to 40 million metric tons of the rare metal, possibly the largest in the world, which could have a huge impact on the electric vehicle industry. Argentina asks that words give way to actions at the G20 summit. Gold production in Mexico is going through a bad streak. Paraguay will sue Argentina before Mercosur for detention of vessels on the waterway. Clashes between hooded men and police near the La Moneda Palace in Chile. Colombia orders the giant Glencore mine to close its operations. Russia surpasses the US in exporting oil products to Brazil. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.